Hey folks, if you haven't heard, this is what my shop's looking like these days. I figured just before we do the demolition, it's coming up in a few days, I'd take some shots of the outside so you can see the aftermath. I'm gonna have to try and get this golf cart moved out of the way before the demo guys get here and try and unbury some of the lawnmowers and different little projects that I had lined up for the winter. You can see the fire started in this corner. Got pretty gosh darn hot. I'll give you a shot from above here as well. And there's the W6. It was so close, so close. It's okay, we're gonna resurrect her. I was able to get pretty much all the parts. The crank was under a bunch of the cellulose insulation from the ceiling that you can see on the floor there. Place is a complete loss. So I'm gonna get the tractor out of here. I've got a couple stationary engines up on the shelf that we can't really see behind the sheet of burnt OSB there. And then in the back, there's a wood lathe. You can't really see buried under all that mess of burnt stuff, but if it's salvageable, I'd like to take that out too. I've had it since I was 16 years old. The building itself, other than the roof being, I'll show you the roof. Other than the roof being concave, the walls have actually held up really decently. So this used to be my ceiling. You can hear the water drip in here. It's actually a pretty mild day in Winnipeg for February. There's the roof. As you can see in that drone footage, it's basically turned inside out. There's not much left of any of the rafters. Oh, there's a couple boards that are somewhat intact. The rest of them are gone. Yeah, fire broke out in that corner, as I said in my short update the other day. Chinese power supply that was hooked to my radio had been mounted there since January 2018, and decided that on January 19th 2025 it would torch the rest of the building, and end results what you see here. So it's hard to look at, but soon this will all be cleaned up. Then they're going to have an engineer come out and check the concrete pad and just see if it's going to be usable or if they're going to have to pour a new pad. That'll determine a lot of the timeline on the rebuild. In this corner, I had the pipes coming up for the floor heat. I didn't have a boiler hooked up to it yet, but I had the lines poured in the pad. So I'm hoping that they can at least splice back into them or do something, because I think they're melted off to the floor. So I'll leave that to them to figure out. But yeah, definitely looks like a ghost of what was in here. If you look back in the videos, it was a pretty nice shop. But in its place, I should have another really nice shop. So that's going to be the rest of this video. Is hopefully I can get some footage of them clearing this out of here, salvaging the tractor, and yeah, maybe get to the point where we have a clean pad and we know what the next steps are going to be. So hope you're ready to come along for the ride. much to hold the camera and try and pull that thing at the same time, but we got her into the back. That's the biggest piece of move. Good old Farm LH barely even coughed at it, dragging it through all that snow, so it's pretty good. And just like that, it's like it was never there. We're right back to September 2017 when I had the pad and no shop. So, did a pretty good job of the cleanup. Looks like the PEX might have survived below surface, so that's good. Tractor is in reasonable shape. Other than the exhaust manifold got broken, so I do have a spare. It's not all that great, but if I have to, I'll use it. Otherwise, I'll be looking for a decent one. I'm a little concerned. I think this was the rad was a casualty, and the grill that I put all those hours into straightening needs to be straightened again, but could have been way worse. So overall, considering the situation, pretty happy with what I got. Stay tuned. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'll be showing you a video of what's going up in place of the old shop here. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.